Okay, so in this video today, we're gonna do a bit of a comparison between different lenses to see just how well they do if you're making YouTube content. Now, you might not think so, but the difference between different lenses can really change the image that you're producing. So let's get into it. Hey, welcome back to the channel. My name is Tom, and this channel is all about cameras and lenses. And today we're doing a fun little thing here. We're gonna test out a bunch of lenses. I got a whole bunch of lenses here, and we're gonna test these things out. Now, right now I'm shooting on a 24mm lens, f1.8, and I want you to notice a couple of things here. So first of all, you can see in the background, you can see the Christmas tree, and you can see this light over here, and you can see this couch behind me. So it's a very immersive image. You get to see a lot of the background, but you also get to see a fair bit of me. Now, the second thing I want you to keep track of is how my face changes. My body will go through changes as we go through this video. Basically, every lens will do a different representation of me. I know it sounds weird, but it's the truth. So we're gonna switch up to these different lenses, and it doesn't really matter if you're on a full frame or SPSC camera or Micro Four Thirds. You can always pick the equivalent. So you can pretty much find this video useful no matter what camera you are using. So again, this is the 24mm lens, and I think it's immersive and it's good. And for walking videos where I'm, walking and talking to the camera, and I want to show you a lot of the things where I'm at, the background, this is a very good lens for that reason. I can basically reach out, and I'm holding my camera right now, and this is the distance I would have if I was to try to vlog while talking. Okay, so let's switch it up. Let's go up a notch. Let's go to the 35mm lens. Let's do this. So this is the 35mm lens at f1.8. I could go to f1.4, but I want to keep things fairly similar here. So you can tell already that the image is kind of cropped in, and you can only see a part of the tree and a little bit of the couch. You can still see the light here, which is cool. And if I was to be doing like a walk and talk video, I couldn't, this is me, at arm's length, keeping my camera. Like, this would be a bit too tight for me. I would not recommend this. I would recommend having a selfie stick for that purpose. But if you're gonna, put it on a tripod, then I'm a huge fan of the 35mm lens. I'll be completely honest with you. This is my favorite lens. This is the lens that I use in most of my shots. And I want to also mention that people have different preferences of what their faces should look like. So maybe 35, I think that my face looks good on a 35mm lens, but you might feel differently about your face. So for those of you who, want to test out to see what lens is the best for you, maybe something to start off with should be something like a Tamron 28 to 75mm, because that way you can sort of test out different ranges before you get yourself an expensive fast lens, Okay, so let's step it up a notch to probably the favorite lens that most people use, and that's this one. This is the Nifty 50. This is a 50mm lens, so let's do this. Okay, so now we're at the 50mm lens, and this is probably the favorite lens of most people on YouTube. Most people seem to prefer the 50mm over the 35. I like the 50mm, don't get me wrong, but the thing that I don't like about the 50mm is the shot is pretty tight. Now this camera is not, like, I had to put it further away from me to get the same type of profile as I had before. And I certainly can't reach the camera from this distance. I would have to go like this close. And this is a bit too tight. You can't vlog like this. So you can barely see anything of the Christmas tree. You can see the light, a little bit of the couch, but it's a very tight shot. It's not very immersive, but it does look my face look natural. What I mean by that is like this is probably the way my face looks in reality, if that makes any sense. Like the human eye sees faces on a 50mm lens, sort of. Can't really compare it, but yeah, but this is the 50mm. And now we're gonna go for the last lens of this test, and that's this bad boy. This is a 85mm lens, so let's switch it up. It's too far. Okay, so I had to put the camera far away from me, and this is the 85mm look, and this is the lens that people mostly use for like portrait shots. And I understand why. It sort of compresses the image a lot, and you get very nice bokeh and stuff like that. So I understand that for photography, the 85mm lens is fantastic, but you needed a lot of headroom. I mean, a lot of distance. I can definitely not vlog and talk and walk, you know, holding this camera with this lens on. It's just not possible. But yeah, I'll give it a go just so you can see. So this is me holding. I can't even focus on my face, so it's a horrible test. Now, you can't see the Christmas tree. You can still see the light. You can hardly see the couch. And my face, it should look sort of cinematic, but kind of big, I suppose. And this is, again, a personal preference, what you prefer. If you're not sure what you want, then I suggest getting a zoom lens, something like this. This is the 24 to 240, and this is something that you could use. So let's take a look at all of these shots together, side by side, and just let's see which face looks good. You can leave it in the comment section below which you think makes my face look the best, which lens you would prefer using. But personally, I think it's the 35. I don't know why. I feel I look the best on the 35, and it's just the perfect lens for someone like me. Okay, and now just for the fun of it, let's play around with a zoom lens where you can zoom in more than 85mm. So let's play with this thing. Okay, so I'm backing up quite a bit because this is 100mm, and this is just absolutely ridiculous, but you can't see my face and you can't see the light behind me, you can hardly see the couch, and you can definitely not see the Christmas tree. So this is it, this is 100mm, and I can't even tell because the screen is too far away from me, so I can't even tell if this looks good. You let me know. Let's switch it up a gear. Let's go. Okay, so now we're at 150mm. I don't know why I'm shouting. It's probably because the camera is so far away, but I have like a wireless Rode mic on, so I don't really have to shout. But yeah, 150mm. This is what my face looks like. It's crazy. It's crazy. And we're gonna step it up a notch. I think we're gonna go to 200, and then we'll call it a day because honestly, I don't know how much further I can go. So let's do this. You know what? I stepped it up to 240mm because I was just curious to see. Now, you don't have any real background blur here, maybe a tiny bit. And like the distance in this living room, I can hardly, like, I can't get my face to be in profile. I would have to like face the wall or something. But yeah, this is the 240mm vlog look, which I think we can all agree is not the right choice here. But notice how close my face is to the lamp. It's just crazy. Anyway, that was my little lens vlog test. So hope you enjoyed this little video, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Take care.
Losing time, I'm fading fast. I just wanna make it last. Try to let go of the past. I close my eyes, embrace the blast. Sleepless nights and headaches stack. Restlessness to hell and back. What's my purpose? What do I grab? A slippery surface, a heart attack. And sometimes you just gotta